So hello guys, Zupat here, and in today's video I would like to go through patch notes 20.25.23, since there has been a lot of jungle changes recently, and I believe I could tell you my opinion on them since I played most of the champions that has been changed in the jungle, and tell them if they are playable, what I think about them, and if you should maybe play them as well. So as you can see, we have a patch note here, and I will slowly go through changes throughout this patch. First changes, which is I would say significant, is Aatrox. Aatrox was originally designed as jungle, at least that's what the Riot Games was saying, at least about him. And right now they are finally giving him a certain changes that is putting him more into the jungle and making him way more viable. His kit is quite strong, even though it's, let's say, not the strongest one. There is a multiple bruisers that will, let's say, have a still good time against Aatrox, since, for example, Volibear or Viego might still do quite well against Aatrox, and they can 1v1 win quite easily. But other bruisers, like for example Zinzao, might struggle against him, and you can win 1v1s as Aatrox in jungle, for example, even early game against these junglers, and you are scaling real well. So I would say that these changes that have been made on his career are quite very good, and I would definitely suggest you to play Aatrox if you like the Aatrox, and you, for example, already played him on top lane, but you don't want to play top lane. This is a very good change which you can make use of in certain matchups, and I believe that we could even see Aatrox in a competitive game. However, there are no many tournaments recently, so hopefully soon. Next change is Ambessa. Ambessa was already played in jungle a few times. There has been a small buffs, I believe, in the past, but now they are buffing here even more, plus 25 monster damage, which is quite a lot, honestly, on her Q. Even though it doesn't seem like it. It boosts her a lot, and she's becoming one of the most fastest junglers when it comes to clear. And right now she has like very strong clearing, and even her skirmish potential is really high. So if you like Ambessa and you like these bruiser skirmish champions, I would kind of compare her to Viego. Then you can definitely play her, and you will not make a mistake, because it's one of the strongest champions that have been buffed on this patch, and yeah, definitely worth a try. These are some ADC changes which are completely useless. We will not go through them. We are focusing mainly on jungle. Next one is Olaf, and this one is, let's say, really interesting change, because this buff on Cho'Gath is quite high, I would say so. As you can see, the max HP damage has been higher up, and Cho'Gath is now way faster when it comes to clear. And maybe it's good to mention that his ultimate is really strong in objectives. You might know that already, but he's also not strong when it comes to 1v1, because his ultimate is basically one-shotting like every single one of the assassins. I believe that assassins are quite strong right now in jungle, and if you are playing Cho'Gath, assassins are struggling quite a lot against you. So you have W, Q, which analyze their potential, which makes Cho'Gath one of the, let's say, strongest jungler right now on the patch. I would say even the strongest one. You are kind of limited when it comes to your mobility, but apart from that, you are really strong, and you can definitely play Cho'Gath if you enjoy playing tank. There has been a change of Mundo. I wouldn't say it's like the most significant one. Mundo is still playable in the jungle. You can definitely play him. You will not make a mistake, but you should not definitely forget about the other champs that has been buffed. Fizz has been buffed as well. As you can see, there has been a 10 against jungle monsters, now 14 plus 1% AP. It's a small buff, I would say so. Like, they just made him viable in jungle, so for example, Fizz OTPs can play him in jungle, but apart from that, it's not the strongest. You have very weak skirmishes, your clear is not the fastest anyway, and there is like very few matchups which I would play Fizz in. Next one is Chase. That is probably more interesting, probably for top laners and mid laners which are getting autofill to jungle. It's one of the best options right now to play in jungle. He has like decent career, nothing special, kinda similar to Wukong's like Zane. His skirmish potential is decent as well, since he can change melee and range forms, kinda similar to Nidalee. And you're scaling well. However, you might not be strongest around objectives. You might need some setup support, because you cannot make the setup on your own with Jace. But if you have like Nautilus, Leona, or other champions like that, it's a very good option which you can make use of. So if you enjoy playing Jace, you can play him as well. It's playable. It's a bit worse than the junglers I mentioned before, like Cho'Gath and stuff, but still playable for good Jace players. Again, some useless AD changes, we are skipping them. Malphite. And I will say only one thing. It's strong. It's strong. However, you might not think it is that strong as I'm saying right now. It's simply one of the best junglers right now, because you are basically unkillable. You have a very simple kill which you can make use of when it comes to objectives. You are not really using many 1v1s. The only problem you have is, for example, you are playing against Sylas. Sylas has to be banned, but apart from that, you really don't have much weaknesses, and I believe that Malphite is really strong. Probably the second strongest one right after Cho'Gath, but Malphite is one of the better options you can play in the jungle right now as well, and decent flex pick to top lane or mid lane. Ornn got buff as well to jungle. Honestly, the changes are fine, but I think the Ornn is really hard to play in jungle when it comes to skirmishes and stuff. I would say that you will make a better choice and decision if you will focus on Cho'Gath and Malphite, because Ornn has just basically a way weaker kit than the others, and I would not recommend you to play him that much. Riven got buffed, kinda similar to Fizz or Jace, let's say, one of these carry champions that got buffed, and yeah, well, Riven OTPs can play Riven jungle if they want, but you will be using probably against most of the bruiser champions like Wukong, Volibear and others, so you can play her definitely, but I suggest you to practice her on the top lane, or in practice too at least. Sion got 15% on monster modification, not the worst, not the best. I think Sion is like in the middle when it comes to this patch. You can play him, it's playable, but it's very hard for him to find a good spot where you will be able to get a good game on him, since your Q is have a like long cooldown when it comes to casting, but at the same time you are one-shotting objectives with Q, so playable but not the best. It's kinda got some small buffs, that's nice since I haven't seen him for a while. You can play him as well, and that's low-key it from this patch. I believe that I kinda showed you my own opinion, I explained it quite well, and now it's up to you to try them, see what you think. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, I hope you learned something new, I hope you made some opinion as well, and that might be it. So thanks for all to watching this video, hit like and subscribe, and see you on the next one.